I'd like us to go back to the statement. We were at paragraph, we just finished at paragraph 24 of your statement. Can we then go to paragraph 25?
As the unit commander, I was ordinary control of the office. However, given the tasks and my other responsibilities, I had delegated the responsibility to control of the safes to Warrant Officer A.B. van den Berg. I attach hereby a copy of the handing over certificate in this regard, JJP 2.
And what's the process with this handing over? Is it in terms of permissions? Who is involved in the process? Can you just yourself just delegate Warrant van den Berg?
Yes, I can, Commissioner. So what this would entail is this official form Z543. It's got to be completed. Where
Perhaps let's go to page 19 and you take us through that, which is the handing over certificate. That's your JJP 2. You can then take us through that form.
it's for
Firstly, the application, the form you said you would fill in first.
Z543.
This is the form.
That's correct. That's correct, Commissioner. You can see there's the strong room. It's got a serial number, C1004670. That's room 22. And then my own details, and I hand it over to Warrant Officer van den Berg. And the 2 keys for the doors handed over to him. My signature appears there, and the date, the address of the office, and then the date 2019, the 12th of November. And then Warrant Officer van den Berg's details is there. He receives it from me. He signs it. The address, it's dated again, and my signature as a unit commander is there again. And that proves that I handed everything. He checked everything that was supposed to be in that safe, that it is in that safe. And occurrence book entry is also made. The OB number is there. It's 22/11/2019.
Ordinarily, who has access to this safe?
After this, only Warrant Officer van den Berg. So he's got the keys.
And officially, without him, no one should access the safe?
No.
Okay, thank you. Can we then go to...
Sorry, what exactly does that mean? Does it mean only he can go into the safe, or they must go through him? He gives the key and you could have asked for the key and went into the safe without him, or he has to be, one possibility is only he can go into the safe. So if you wanted anything, you would have to ask him. That's the one possibility. The other possibility is that you have to go through him and he has to accompany you into the safe. The third is you just take the key and you go alone. What does it mean that he's in control?
Only he accesses that safe. He's got the keys. Doesn't give it to anybody else, not even me as the commander. I had to inspect the official firearms that's housed in that safe weekly. I would get hold of him. He would open up for me. Whilst he's there, I will inspect the firearms. Once I'm done, make an OB entry, sign the firearm register, and then I leave and he locks the safe. Keys are always with him. Doesn't give it to anybody else.
So no one should ever be in the safe without Van den Berg being there?
No. No, Commissioner. Nobody should.
Thank you.
Now, sorry, in the light of this discussion, I know you are coming to this later with regard to General Sinona, Brigadier Nyuswa, and the rest of the team arriving to deliver the cocaine. I'm interested, there was this formality between you and Warrant Officer van den Berg, formal handing over with signatures, but the evidence in regard to the handing over of the keys seems to be that the keys were simply handed over to Brigadier Nyuswa. In the context of the prescripts and what the formality you've referred to, can you explain how that handing over took place? They are there, the drugs are put into room 22, is it? And once everything is done, the keys are simply handed over to Brigadier Nyuswa.
Thank you, Commissioner. Once I was contacted by Brigadier Nyuswa to make a safe available for them to bring it.
Yeah, don't go into much,
okay.
just the handing over of the keys, because you are still going to discuss the rest when you come to that part of the statement.
We removed all the firearms, placed the drugs in there, and then the keys were handed to them. And we made an OB entry after they had left.
Oh, that had been done.
Yeah.
And was that proper without the signatures as you have them, for example?
No,
in the,
we did not complete this form.
Was that proper? Or did you hear my question?
I hear your question, Commissioner.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we should have completed this form. But there was nothing else in the safe. We took everything out of the safe.
There was cocaine now.
Yeah, their cocaine that they came with, Commissioner.
Please continue, Mr. Skaka.
Perhaps let me just follow that up so that so that we clarify it. So when you complete this form, JJP2, you are handing over the keys. Now, this is not the only incident that you handed over the keys. That's what the chairperson is trying to get at. There's another incident, and we don't understand that to mean that this form is completed only when there's certain items, unless I misunderstood you. So it means that when you are handing over the keys, this form must be completed. Correct?
That's correct.
So what the chairperson is trying to get at is when keys were handed over, let's forget the liability or the culpability. When the keys were handed over, as we'll get to it later on, was a similar form completed?
No, similar form was not completed.
And so it would still, administratively, it would mean that the keys were not transferred from an administrative point of view.
That's correct.
Okay. So, and just to follow that up, at the time we'll come to that. If you go to page 103, which is the part of the national instruction, at the time, the 2017, it's the 2017 as amended, but the wording is the same. At paragraph 5, and we'll get to the timing, the last sentence there, which I would think it's still applicable, is that access control to the safes must be strictly applied.
Sorry, sir, what page is that?
103. It's paragraph 20.5, subparagraph 5. 20 deals with management of subs 13 stores. We will deal with the debate around subs 13 as it was dealt with yesterday. But do you understand that access control to the safe must be strictly applied?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Correct. Okay, we'll come to that. Let's then go back.
Again, it's just to try and clarify, Colonel, not so much to probe. The Port Shepstone office, who is the in charge of that office?
I was the acting unit commander.
Okay. All right, so being unit commander, acting unit commander means you're the overall in charge of
That's
the
correct,
office.
Commissioner.
Now, when you have this situation where drugs have been left in your building, but now the key is with someone else who's based in Durban. Yes, he's your superior, but he's not based in your office. Who at that point has custody and oversight responsibility in respect of these drugs that are in your building?
I handed the keys over to Brigadier Newswa. So him as the provincial commander. They've got control over those exhibits, not myself.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to it.
There's indication, I think, in your statement that at some point when high-value exhibits were stored there, an arrangement was made for 24-hour security, I think in the form of guards, warm bodies. Am I correct?
That is correct, Commissioner. That
Yes.
happened in June 2018.
2018.
We stored a lot.
So 2 years, exactly 2 years before the cocaine was brought.
That's correct.
Yes. Whose responsibility was it to arrange that 24-hour security?
I did that at that
You
stage,
did
Commissioner.
And why was that so? Were those Port Shepstone exhibits? I want to understand why you made the arrangement.
It was a Port Shepstone case.
Port
It was
Shepstone
our own case.
Yes.
It was a drug lab that we took down, 2 million Mandrax tablets. We guarded it there itself for 2 days until it was taken to FSL in Pretoria.
And in this instance now, 2 years later, June 2020, was it? Oh, so it was actually 3 years before. So June 2021, whose responsibility do you think it was to again arrange 24, sorry for splitting the infinitive there, to again arrange 24-hour security? Whose responsibility would it have been?
I would say the provincial commander's his responsibility,
Brigadier Newswa.
Brigadier Newswa.
And the reason for that? Why not you?
I don't have enough manpower at my office, Commissioner, for the members to.
But in 2018, you had managed to arrange that.
Because then we knew it was for 1 or 2 days maximum. We could do that. Yeah, there was no indication for what length of period that drugs were going to be there.
Thank you.
Perhaps the other dimension to what the chair is saying is the decision-making power. What changed?
It is not a Port Shepstone case, that. It's a Durban case. It's a much bigger, they've got a lot more people than I've got at my unit. It's their exhibits they brought to my unit. They should have supplied the guards for it there at my unit, Commissioner.
Thank you. Please go to your statement, paragraph 26.
Each of those 2 safes was built in line with the applicable SANBS standards. Each had 2 locks. Warde van der Berg had the keys, just to be clear. I was not in control of the safes. One of the safes, room 22, was used to store firearms. The safe had a firearm register and the occurrence book. The other safe, room 24, was used to store office supplies, including cleaning material and solutions. Access to it was also registered. And there were no cameras inside the building. However, there was an alarm system which I think there's a typing error there. Which monitored motion. No, that's correct. When it was armed, it would be triggered by motion, but only in the passages. None of the officers had any, I forgot the word now of that. The sensors. None of them had a sensor in it. All staff had their own unique code to activate and disarm the alarm. The alarm would not work if there was no electricity, even if it had been armed. Once there is no electricity, it gets disarmed and not work. Further, even if it got triggered and made a noise, no one would know, as the office would be closed, and the nearby businesses would also be closed. Basically, the alarm would just ring until someone comes in the following working day. If it went off on Saturday, for example, and assuming there was no interruption of electricity supply, it would be deactivated or disarmed by the first person at the office on Monday morning. If there was interruption of the electricity supply on a Saturday, for example,